you agree with the general rule of drinking half your body weight in ounces of water per day?
The question was, do we consider that drinking half your body weight in water per day is a helpful recommendation? We need to understand that the body's need for water varies continually, not only from day to day, but throughout the day. It depends upon the environment that you're in terms of its humidity and its temperature. It depends very largely upon your level of activity, and also as to what is going on inside your body at any given time. It might help in many circumstances if people could imagine that the inside of their body is like a giant building site where continual jobs of demolition and rebuilding are taken place, amongst all other sorts of things such as transportation of substances. And so your body's need for water will vary depending on all of those issues and what's going on. On the natural human diet, our foods, those raw plant-based foods, are so high in water content that we find they amply supply our need for water all the time that we are within the boundaries of what can be considered a natural existence. Of course, if we find ourselves competing athletically in a very warm and humid environment, we may well find that we're going to have to take a slightly unnatural approach to the amount that we drink, and we may be taking down bottle and bottle full of water outside of our natural dietary. But people's concern about hydration, I think, is partially because people aren't quite clear how to ascertain for themselves whether they are dehydrated or not. They may be familiar with the idea that the skin will change its tone and texture when they're dehydrated, that their eyes will begin to sink into their sockets and various other things, and they will become constipated, constipated being a classic symptom of dehydration. But it helps a great deal to understand that if you are urinating amply and on a regular basis, it's a sign that your body is well hydrated. If you're urinating less than half a dozen times a day, then yes, there is reason to be a little more aware of taking more water or maybe even additional water into your body. But if you're urinating many times a day and it's prolific in its flow, there is no need to be concerned about feeling hydrated. The problem is when people are given recommendations such as drink 8 litres of water a day or other such things, it is not helping people to develop their own body awareness. It is actually helping people to divorce themselves from their body awareness and rely on statistics and recommendations to know how much to drink, to know when to sleep, how long to sleep. The real issue is the greater the capacity we develop for tuning in and listening to our body's needs, the more guaranteed we are to be supplying our bodies with its needs. For example, tuning in to knowing the difference between when you're tired and when you're hungry, which is a basic thing many people really have yet to discover for themselves. To tune in and know when your body's telling you it's thirsty. Many people eat when actually they're thirsty. So maybe it's a good opportunity to take that great question and think, well, that's opened up a thought for me. And the thought is that if I'm really tuned into my body's needs, I will need to do less academic analysis of my body's needs and respond to what I'm feeling my body is telling me it needs at that time.
I've been told over and over again, you wait until you're thirsty, it's too late.
That is because most people don't identify thirst until it's intense. But once you develop the subtlety of awareness that you can identify thirst before it becomes intense, then you will be able to meet your body's needs in a helpful way.
That's also a rule of thumb from sporting endeavors where you're going through water at an incredibly accelerated pace. The idea of don't wait until you're thirsty, it's too late, doesn't really apply in day-to-day life. But if you are in the Hawaii Ironman triathlon and it's 12 noon, 100 degrees, you're on asphalt riding your bicycle as fast as you possibly can, losing somewhere in the vicinity of a pint of water every 10 minutes, you can't take it in quickly enough by the time you recognize thirst. You throw your mineral balance off by the time you recognize thirst. You've lost so much sodium that just drinking water, it is in fact too late for you to have a maximum athletic experience peak day that day. It's not too late like you're going to die, but it's too late for you to expect to do your best.